Bring in our legal guys. Both are law professors. Avery Freeman, a civil rights attorney, and Richard Herman, a New York criminal defense attorney. All right, good to see both of you. So, Avery, let me begin with you. Let's listen to some of Slager's testimony when he was asked about whether or not Walter Scott posed a threat.
You've seen the video.
I have.
And you've heard that he was 18 feet away. Would you agree that he was not a threat to you with that taser, without a cartridge, from that distance?
No.
Okay. So you're going to stick to that?
Yes, and the reason is, from 18 feet, he could have turned around and attacked me again.
And so, Richard, in a case like this where the juror says, I will not change my mind, this in a written note, and apparently that juror is the only holdout, what kind of recourse does a judge have? I mean, is this when alternate jurors can potentially step in, or is this just the way it goes?
Well, two quick things, Fred. First, I hope you feel better. I know you're hurting today a little bit, so feel better. Number two, what did we do when there were no videos? Can you imagine this case if there was no cell phone video, how it would have been presented? In any event, to answer your question, it's really organic, Fred. The situation is this. This juror is going to hang. There's no way the judge is going to convince him otherwise. The judge cannot replace him. And this is what this jury's stuck with. Now, 11-1 for conviction, you know they're going to retry him. There will be a retrial. But there is no rational basis to find for the police officer in this case. This is a brutal slaying where the defendant, again, it's a situation, we talk about it all the time, Fred, where I say, if you don't take the orders from a police officer, nothing good's going to happen. So there was a chase, but this guy was definitely 18 feet away. The officer shot him in the back while his back was turned to him. The taser was on the ground at the time. There was no reasonable fear in the officer's mind at that moment, fear for imminent harm or death to him or people around him. That's why he has to be convicted, and he ultimately will be.
Richard, final word?
Where he brings the jury in and he points his finger at him and says, now you've got to deliberate harder and come up with a resolution here. This juror is holding out. He's not going to change his mind. There's nothing. The judge can point his finger till the cows come home. This is going to be a hung jury, probably late Monday, Tuesday, and then, they're going to retry the case probably in a month.
All right, we've got another case, Avery and Richard, for you to come back, kind of like the old days. We're going to see you twice now. We're going to be right back with another very important and sobering case.